Hello, welcome back to Hunter Tune. Today we're going to be working on this EG hatch right here. It has a B18B LS. It's just all motor and it's got some high compression pistons in it. So naturally aspirated B18B, high comp pistons, cold air intake, DC Sport 421 header, and I don't even know what exhaust is on it, just like a basic catback 2.5 inch, I'm sure. It's got a Dragonfire distributor on it. Yeah, really clean setup. So nice and simple, all motor deal. So he said that it isn't really pulling up top. So like he said it used to pull to 7,000 and now it only pulls to 6,000. Not really sure what that means, but we're gonna tune it anyway. And he wants some two-step, and we're gonna deliver. So first things first is he's been running on a stock P75 ECU. So I took the ECU out of the car and I have it up on the bench right now, and I'm chipping it for HTS. So he was gonna run Honda, but he wants some rowdy two-step, and figure HTS has rowdier two-step than Honda, or at least it's easier to get rowdier two-step with HTS because you can actually play with the delay on the two-step. You can actually delay like how long it takes for it to have that ignition event again. So that's really cool with HTS, where Honda does not have that feature. So and just basic setup, HTS runs perfect. You know, we've obviously ran HTS on a lot of different setups, anywhere from, you know, basic all motor cars to 600 plus horsepower rippers. There is some bugs with it still that you know, I'm still having some issues with trying to work stuff out, but nonetheless it is a good software for, you know, what it is, and it has a lot of features that actually work. Unlike Chrome Gold or Chrome in general, a lot of the features like the boost controller and stuff like that just never even worked with that, where HTS is more like Neptune in the sense of all that stuff actually works. So got my soldering iron out, and I am going through and desoldering the board. I got J1 desoldered right here, and then the 28 pin socket is going to go right here. I have all those desoldered, and then the 373 chip I have desoldered, the 4-pin header, and then J12 is also removed. So I'm going to be installing some components in it. I've had these laying around for a while because I haven't really been doing a whole lot of ECU work. I usually just send everything to Jason Waters Tuning. I don't know, he's a lot more efficient at doing this stuff, and his ECU work is like artwork. I can do a pretty decent job, and I'll show you when I'm done with this one, but you know, it just takes me a little bit longer to do them. That's because I don't have the equipment like Jason has. Believe it or not, it's not as easy just doing it with a soldering iron, you know, and a solder sucker. That's what I use to desolder the board. And as you can see, it does a decent job, but you know, it's not artwork by any means. There is still some little stragglers that I got to clean off, just to make sure we're not going to have any cross tracing. So we don't want to have like a solder in between a solder, because it's going to connect two joints together, and then you're going to have a check engine light that's solid and won't go away. So got to make sure this stuff is real clean and tidy when you do it. It's a little tedious, but we're going to get her done. Alrighty guys, sorry for the mess on my bench right now, but got the ECU all done. Obviously I'm not an expert at doing this, but it gets the job done. So there's a couple solders that are, you know, a little blotchy and stuff like that, but for the most part, got it all dialed in. There we are. Everything's installed, ready to be tuned. I'm just waiting for the clear coat to dry on the board. Whenever I do these, I always clean them off with like brake clear carb cleaner and like a toothbrush, and then once my soldering is done, I go over with some clear coat paint and just give it another layer of protection. Alrighty, so I got the car up and running with the chipped ECU that I just finished. Got it chilling on the floor right now. I just got a base map in it, and it's up and running. And I'm letting the car warm up so I can change the oil for the guy, because he left some oil in a filter in the passenger seat. Wanted me to change the oil before tuning it. So I'm gonna change the oil, check everything over once again. But just sitting here idling, it does surge a little bit. The idle's kind of up and down, and I do hear a noise, and I don't really know what it is. You can't really hear it right now, but if I give it some RPM, you might be able to hear it. Not sure if you guys could hear that or not, but it almost sounds like an exhaust rattle, or like something's rattling under the car. I don't really know what it is, but I'm gonna get it jacked up, change the oil, and I'll check some stuff over and see if anything's loose or rattling. Hopefully it's nothing like in the motor. At idle it sounds really good, like I said, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I might be just overthinking it, but I always like to be safe than sorry, you know. All right, just got the oil drained out. I'm gonna put his new oil in. She doesn't like the floor jack for some reason.
Right.
All right, got my wideband in the car. We're gonna do a dyno run really quick and see what the air fuel looks like, what we got to adjust from here. We'll see what she lays down on this base map, and then we'll adjust from there. I think this tune-up's got like 26 degrees in it, so we'll see if the air fuel is close or not. She's not too happy. It was pretty lean, like 14, 15. So I'm gonna get some fuel put in this thing on the tune, and then we'll try it again. Cruising is pretty good, mid throttle, good, wide open, lean. All right, let's try it again. A lot better, like a lot better. I'll show you what I changed on the tune, but now that I did a run on the car and, like, you know, got some temp in it and revved it a little bit, the idle is freaking perfect, like super steady, perfect air fuel. It's weird, but when I first start the car it surges. I don't know, I'll have to look into some stuff on that. Running pretty good yet. 177 horse. That is really good for a B18B. Let me tell you what. But compression, high compression, good exhaust. I mean, this thing doesn't have a great exhaust, but the compression definitely helps a lot. And you can see, like, on the base map, we only made about 130 horse, and I just picked up like 50 horsepower by fixing stuff and obviously revving the car out. So this first blue line right here is the first run that we did, and then this is where I changed some stuff and got everything moving. It is rich down here. You can see that it was like a 10.8 right when I stabbed into it at 3 grand or 2,500, whatever. And then right around 4 grand, the air fuel kind of switched, and it was like boop, 12.0, 12.0, 12.5, and then falling off up top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to clean this area up down here and take the fuel out that needs to be pulled out in this area. And then we will probably just clean up a little bit here and there. Maybe give it a little timing, see if it'll pick up. But yeah, not too bad to start. That was, see, I don't know if it's got an issue where, I don't know if the tack is off on the dyno or if it's right, because in the car I only revved it like 6,500, and out here it says 6,500 too. And up top it went really rich, like 8.0 for some reason. So I don't know why that is. We'll kind of keep going here and see what we can come up with. Make sure this filter isn't restricting anything. Sometimes guys will jam the filter all the way onto the pipe, and it will actually cap off the airflow to the motor. So make sure you don't put your filter on, like shove it way on the pipe, because then the pipe can't breathe through the filter. Yeah, just check some stuff over. We might do another run, see if it backs it up, and we'll pull some fuel out down low. All right, third run here. I'm gonna see what she does. See, now it's idling good. It just, like, right when I first start it, it surges a little bit. But right after it runs for a second, she's dog pile chicken smile. The run here. And it's like right when it hit it, you guys could see it went like 8.0. I don't know if it just had that burst of fuel where it soaked up the exhaust. I'm not sure. We'll see if we picked any power up down low. I pulled out a little too much. You saw right when I stabbed it, it was like 14. So I might have to add a little bit back in. I pulled out 10%. I probably only should have pulled 5 down low. So we will make some adjustments, see what that did comparatively to the last run. And so I pretty much overlaid completely. Made 177 horsepower again. Yeah, so you can see the gold line. You can't even see it because it overlaid almost perfect. So this down here might just be because it's you know, the cam isn't coming alive yet. If you wanted power down here, you'd have to advance the camshafts a degree or two to get that power, to get that torque sooner. But this is kind of just how LSs are. Obviously right around 5 grand or so, they start to fall off torque-wise, but they make almost the same torque as horsepower. Non-VTEC does. So, because the horsepower can't be made higher up, because there's no VTEC to carry it out. Alright guys, so I got the map out here and I was tuning down here a little bit because it was lean. So I pulled out some here, smoothed out the areas up here. There was a little bit of a rich spot, like you guys could probably see on the wideband. It went like 11 for a second, like 11.8 and then 12.5. It's not really gonna do anything to the power curve. It's not gonna make more, but try to get it a little bit smoother air fuel wise when I'm wide open. And then yeah, that should be it on this thing. I also did put 2 degrees in it way up top, like above peak torque, just to see if I can carry the power out a little farther. We'll see how that does. And like I said, I did add a smidge of timing way up top just to see if it'll respond to it. If it doesn't, we'll put it back to 26, but I got 28 in it above 6,000 RPM. And then I changed, I mean, that's pretty much it actually. The rev limiter on this thing is really aggressive. You guys probably heard it in the car. It's like kapow. I'm gonna try to, I don't know how to set it so it's not like kapow. I'd rather have it go tut-tut-tut, you know? So, might have to play with some of the delays here. This is what I was talking about that Honda doesn't have, is the ignition cut mod. So you can delay it a certain amount of time on the launch and on the rev. We'll see how she does. So another thing too is like when I shift it pops, you know, pow, pow every time I shift. That's the popcorn mod on HTS. It is kind of loud, but it's fun, I suppose. And we made 1 more horsepower. So that timing really didn't do a whole lot. We'll compare the two here, side to side. So we did pick up a little bit of torque down here, but like I said, no matter what I'm doing to air fuel and stuff down here, it's just the cam's not coming alive yet. It doesn't come alive till, you know, around 3,500 or so. And yeah, I ran that one out. Nothing really up here that it didn't really pick up. I mean, it did pick up, but ever so slightly. I mean, you are pulling teeth here. So here's a zoomed in look. The top line is our recent one. And you can see it did pick up some timing, you know, pick up power with timing, but this isn't really enough to really leave it in. I mean, we're talking like a 0.5 horsepower or 1 horsepower in spots. So if it picked up 3 or 4 or 5, maybe leave it in, but not 1, not a 0.5, you know. So, and I figured it would have picked up and carried out a little farther here, but she just nosedives up top. I don't know why that is, so might have to investigate. All right guys, so this thing's pretty much dialed in, and got the air fuel perfect, wide open. Cruising's great, idle's good now, and just wanted to do the 2-step and change the delay. So the 2-step delay before was 50. We're gonna try 150 and see how it compares. Whoa! Damn. We'll see if he likes that when he picks it up. Otherwise, we can change the delay and get a different result. You know, get it more like faster tut 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 tut, or a little slower gunshots like bow bow bow. Typically when it's like this, you get fireballs at nighttime, and it'll shoot fireballs. So we'll see what he wants. I'm also gonna drive the car real quick and show you the popcorn mod. So I'm just gonna drive it like 40-50 miles an hour on the dyno, and I'm gonna show you like when I shift and when I let off the gas and decel, it shoots like pow, pow, pow. Silly shit. Silly. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. 177 horsepower, B18B non-VTEC pump gas ripper. So he might put a set of camshafts in this thing and make some more power. He was talking to me about maybe doing cams and valve train. But this just shows that high compression definitely helps out. Typically these things on my dyno will make like 160 to the wheels with a tune. And this one, you know, obviously makes almost 20 horsepower more from the compression. So I think they were like a Type R piston, so it's probably like 11.5 or maybe 12 to 1. Maybe if the head is shaved. He said that the head was milled a little bit and it was like brand new when he took it off, so maybe they shaved the head and did the pistons at the same time. But I did want to add in here quick, just about the initial first pull that I did. That was a base map that I've ran on a previous B18B, and it was perfect, and it was super lean on this setup, which if you have something that's comparable or pretty close, and it goes lean, typically the engine's making more power, and it's sucking in more air. So that was a good indicator that like, hey, this thing's making some jam compared to a stock one, because I had to add nearly 20% of fuel and it yielded us almost 20 horsepower. So if the car is taking fuel, that's good. It's usually making power. So just something to note here. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the two-step and the silly shit with HTS. And have a great night and a better tomorrow. We'll see you later.